Everybody, my name's Joe. Welcome back to SNES's Life. Today I'm going to be playing another boring sports game. That's not entirely true. I am playing a sports game. It is Pro Sport Hockey. The NHLPA, National Hockey League Players Association. This is Jelko, who has made a number of games. Not all of them great. Some of them were okay. I have played... Oh, shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this was probably like our 5th hockey game for the show. I know... The only thing I know about hockey is of the sports to watch, this is probably one of the more intriguing. At least it's exciting. It's constant movement, constant action. You know, baseball and football, they end up sitting forever and having moments where they just don't do a damn thing. Hey, Beach, how you doing? Welcome in. Taking a look at that cover art. That's a bunch of famous hockey players, is my assumption. I don't recognize damn one of them. Yeah, I don't have a clue who any of those people are. I think that bottom left guy, yeah, never mind. I don't know. I was going to say it kind of looks like Wayne Gretzky, but then it kind of doesn't. That's the only hockey player I have any idea. Anyway, yeah, this is just a live action shot pasted onto a box, so it looks fine. Nothing super special here. Have a look at the back of the box. Real superstars on ice and real super pro action. And yeah, okay. Whatever you say, man. Hello, dog. Come on in. Please don't trip over my cord. Thank you. See if I can get the pupper up here. You thought it had to be live this fast, this rough, this real from the start. 24 teams. Look, 4 screenshots and it's all just hockey playing. Usually you don't get that. Usually a couple of the screenshots are like still shots, like here's the team selection menu or here's, you know, a trophy or something. This looks like 4 just straight up in-game shots. It's got the double boop net instead of a single hoop net. I mean, look, it's hockey. I'm okay to hockey. I'm impartial. I do have a manual though. It is a fairly lengthy manual at 40 pages. But that said, like the last, I don't know, like 6 or 7 pages are team statistics. So one of the things I found funny about this menu, kind of flipping through it, is it's got the layout for the controller here on page like 3 or 4 or something. And then it doesn't actually tell you what buttons do what until like, I don't know, halfway through the fucking menu. You can change period times. It's got offsides and icing are the only 2 fouls it's got in here, except I think you can get penalized for checking someone too hard or something. Maybe hooking. It's got your season standings and everything else. It's a long menu. It explains all the positions and tournaments and how to do line changes and selects, and it's another freaking... It's not as simulation-y as like an NHL game, but it's pretty simulation-y. And Beej, at least since you're in there, I am not a massive simulation sports fan. I am a much more arcadey sports fan. There are shootouts, penalties, penalty shots, other fouls. See, I like this. It kind of explains the whole defense-offense zone and how you end up with freaking offsides and icing. I have never seen that explained in a manual before. They just kind of... You're playing hockey, and they kind of expect you to know that. And I think this is the first time I've ever actually seen a diagram that has helped me in one of these fucking hockey game manuals. So there's that. And then here you go, just team rosters. You know, 4, 5, 6 pages of team rosters. I play no sports games on any system. Well, you're better off not playing sports games on any system. I've played a handful, and very, very, very few have I given a thumbs up to. Mostly, I think the only ones I really, really liked were... there was a football game. I mean, I like Tecmo Bowl, and it's not arcadey at all. God, I did play Blame on My Eye Arcade today. Yeah, NBA Jam's hard to knock. NBA Jam Tournament Edition is probably the best basketball game ever. What bowling game are you playing on your iArcade? I've got Super Bowling for the Super Nintendo I enjoyed. But I don't see it. I respect that bowling is a skill. I guess I can get the game started here. but I don't really consider it a sport. I mean, I consider it a sport in so much as like esports is a sport. Like you're not actually doing that much athletically speaking. And I think of sports as an athletic thing. So NBA Jam cabinet from 1UP. Right on. I like the arcade 1UPs well enough, but I don't know. They're so freaking small. Like my buddy Dave has, I think, 3 of them, and he has the Turtles one, and we crowded around it. I'm like, this is awful. Like it's a kid. Putting 3 or 4 grown adults around one will really make you go, this is a kid's toy. Blast Bowling just came out. Never heard of that one. I guess if it just came out yesterday, I wouldn't have. We're just going to do an exhibition game. Can I turn those things over? Period. 5-minute period. That's fine. We're going to turn penalties off entirely. Same with fatigue, offsides, icing. We don't want any of that shit. We just want to crush people. Home luck. So if it's your rink, you have the home advantage. We're going to turn that off. Tie game goes overtime. That's fine. We're going to play. So, who should we be? Wow, Detroit is a really high statistics. You know, I'm going to take Detroit versus Minnesota so that I can maybe win this game. According to this, I should crush them. Oh, set up. Let's set up. Changing the line edits and things. Yeah, no, we're good with that. Okay, here we go. Oh. A few new sizes now. TMNT cab was great. 2 adults wasn't bad. Anyone more than that, that's too much. Yeah, I agree. Look, I thought about getting a 1UP cab a number of times, and what I ended up doing was just buying a full-size arcade machine because I'm stupid. So, Jesus, get him. Run away. Such lovely sound, isn't it? Just skatey move and hockey slaps. Hardly a lick of music in the entire damn thing. I hate that. What? Somebody hit his ass. Oh. How did dude like got knocked over by the puck? Shit. At least I took a shot that time. Hey, I got a goal. Oh, that's a nice little cut there. One full-size cab. I'll stick with 1UPs. Cranky Boomer. Sorry. How are you this evening? Welcome in. Nice to have you. My name's Joe. I don't recognize your name. Of course, that doesn't mean a lot. I have An awful, awful memory. I'm real curious to see exactly how that Time Crisis cab works. As far as light guns go, working on an LCD screen. Because the only two ways I've seen that work out are for the Wii using IR sensors, and then the Sinden light gun, which has like a camera thing, I guess, from the way it's been explained to me. So I'm real interested to see how Arcade One-Up's going to make that affordable and functional. Very curious. I've had better days, but when things are bad, it can only get better. That's the way to look at it right there. Oh, what did I just do? Oh. I have no idea what just occurred other than we're facing off again. Oh, shit. No. Oh. Ah. Somebody stop him. What? What? Why did you... Somebody... Jesus Christ. Hit that guy. Whee! Go, man, go. So you can use your shoulder bumpers in here to switch players, but the damn puck moves so fast that by the time you switch dudes, it's gone. It makes it very difficult to try and figure out where you're going. Well, anyway, Cranky, I hope that your day does indeed get better. I mean, I don't know what time of day it is for you. Over here, where I'm at, it's 8 o'clock at night, so my day's all but over. Of course, maybe you work nights. So, I worked nights for many years. Oh, piss. And my view of when a day started and ended was very screwed up at that point. My day tended to start around 2 p.m. Come on, fellas. Oh, what the... Why did he shoot way the hell out there? This is very hectic. I also like that, of course I turned off the offside, so that might make a difference. But I'm like, the second that their goalie gets that puck, like all my dudes skate off to where they're supposed to be. Which I think would prevent a little bit of the offside issues. Oh, that's period end. The Zambroni! It amazes me sometimes how many sports games there were in the 16-bit era. Because none of them were really that good. Like, the only sports game I've really ever enjoyed, which is what we were talking about earlier, Beach, was NBA Jam and Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl, in my opinion, is probably the best football game. Like, piss on Madden and everything else like that. Like, Tecmo Bowl was where it was at. The game was simple. It worked. Did I play 10-Yard Fight? Have I played it yet? Is that something I'm gonna play? It's so hard to keep track. 380 games in, or whatever the hell I'm at. Yeah! I felt skillful on that particular shot. Was 10-Yard Fight, was that an NES game or Super NES game? I feel like that was an NES game. And I don't really remember it. Yeah. Go, baby, go! Oh! I felt good about that shot, too. What is your favorite sports game? I mean, you said you don't play sports games, but you just brought up 10-Yard Fight, so you obviously at least remember something about that game. I remember Joey and my wife Kim kind of made fun of me when we played Super Bowling for the Super Nintendo. They're like, this game's awful, and I love it. Like, it's dumb and it's simple and it's cheesy, but I don't know. I enjoy the shit out of it. NBA Jam. Yeah, that's fair. What about you, Cranky? Still in there? What's your favorite sports video game, if you have one? Bogus. Somebody go get that. Wee. Blitz would have to be way up there for me. Yeah, NFL Blitz. So I think that was probably the other football game that I played for the Super Nintendo that I did enjoy. It wasn't called NFL Blitz yet. It was, but it was, according to, I think it was Wizard of Zardoz was in here talking to me about it. And he's like, this is what NFL Blitz came from. It was a real arcadey, kind of almost goofy football game. Super high impact, that's what it was called. And it was very, like, you'd hit somebody and sack them, and they're like they're like pads in their helmet would come flying off, and like the whole screen would shake. And that was an enjoyable game. Ah, shit. So I mean, out of football games, that one wasn't so bad. But in general, like I said, I just find Tecmo Bowl it controlled so well. It was very simple, yet still had some strategy to it. And yeah, that's, that would be my pick. Yeah! Look at that. Just drops it right in. Number 77, Paul Coffey. Puts one in. Jesus. What the hell did he shoot it way down there for? Going in. You know what this game could use? It could use a turbo button like NBA Jam. I tell you one sport that I have yet to play a game that I enjoyed for the Super Nintendo releases. Anything with soccer. Like, I believe Joey and I have played 1 or 2 soccer games that we were like, this game's alright, and it would be fun with other people. Otherwise, the only soccer game I've ever played that was enjoyable was Mario Strikers for the GameCube. That was an enjoyable game. Oh, good hit. One of the things that I feel like a hockey game needs to really, like, get me, though, is fights. You have to be able to get in fights very easily, and, like, I have yet to get in a fight in this game. It's just disappointing on every level. Where's my blockers? Oh, shit. Fun with Blitz. Yeah, Blades of Steel for the NES was not a bad hockey game. Like, I remember playing that with my brother when I was a kid, and it was okay. I know, like, the pinnacle of hockey games as far as 16-bit era, I think, was like NHL 94, 95, I think, was what's widely considered the best one. Me and Joey, I guess if neither of you two are aware, Beej or Boomer, I started this channel with my oldest son, Joey, and we played probably the first, 200 some odd games together before he went to college. I never owned it. I rented a lot. I was the poor kid. We did not have it. Yeah, you know what, Boom? I can I can sympathize with you. We had a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, but I don't think we ever owned more than maybe 5 games for either one. Like, we were video store kids. Me and my brother had paper outs. And every Friday, my parents would go out with their friends. But before they would take my brother and I to the video store and we'd rent a game and a movie. And that was our weekend entertainment. So, I can definitely get you on the whole not owning much. This game thus far is playable, if nothing else. Like, it's not bad. It's not great. But it's not bad. One of the more consistent complaints I have about hockey games is your dudes move, and I know it sounds really redundant, but like your dudes move like they're on ice. They really put in like the ice level physics from like Mario or some shit. And I've watched professional ice skaters and hockey players, and they do not slip nearly as much as the video game makes it appear. Like, on this you press... It always feels like it's a solid, like, second from when you press left or right that your dude actually moves left or right. And I've watched hockey players stop, like, immediately. When they want to move a specific direction, they will stop and flip on a dime, it seems like. And I've never played a hockey game that made it feel that responsive. Damn, goalie took me out. Oh. One of my other big complaints about sports games in general, no music. I hate not having music, and I get that, like, during a real sporting event there's not music, but this isn't a real sporting event. Like, there's no reason, I feel, that you should have nothing but silent noise, or, silence and like whaps and thuds. And football's the same way. It's just like, oh, football, and then your dude's like, ugh, and that's all you hear. At least this one doesn't have the grunts. Like, that's a couple of the football games I play where just the only thing you hear is basically blue 42, hut, and then just people going ugh, as you hear crashes and everything as they slam together, and you're like, well, that's, I don't know, very, very boring. I worked in my old man's machine shop for extra money. He made sure I earned that $10. Is it worth it? No. Is a sporting event worth? I mean, that depends on if you're a fan of sports, man. I'm not, and I've been to plenty because my dad was. So I've been to hockey and football and baseball, and my oldest son played soccer for a number of years. And yeah, it's not worth it. I don't get any entertainment value out of sports. That's me. Some people really do. I find it boring as sin. And I can appreciate the skill that those guys have, but I don't feel like a damn single one of them is worth $200 million contracts and shit, man. That's always gotten me. It's just nuts. The amount that sports players get paid. It's craziness. Do ram me over. I watch sports in school. I spend more time trying to talk to people and getting laughed at. Yeah, I did actually play hockey, or not hockey. I played football for a little bit, and then I coached Pee-wee football after high school for a couple of years as kind of a side thing. And like I got football enough to understand how to play it and run it, but it still didn't. It's not entertaining for me. You know, that's why I quit doing it. I don't know. I would rather play a good platformer than a sports game. But, and the goal of this channel to play every freaking Super Nintendo game in America, the sports games are a necessary evil. We're about to roll overtime, or did one of us score? I think we're overtime, aren't we? Yeah, we are. There's no way to see the score. That's kind of a bum deal as far as bad design is concerned. Like, you would think they would put a way to see the score other than when you score. Yeah! Siebert Paul Siebert. Player 1 wins 4-3 in overtime. Hot diggity. I had to play flag football in grammar school. Everybody wanted tackle. Grammar school was really going on 40 years ago. What the fuck? I don't hear a lot of people call it grammar school, so that kind of ages you on your own, unless you're English. In which case, I think a lot of people I think England still calls it grammar school. Going to a live sports event is great. I've been to about 20 NFL games, 100 plus NBA games, and a few college games. It's a good time. See, there you go. Beach likes live sports. I find it boring. To each is their own, though. And that's an important distinction. You gotta do what you like. So, I'm gonna say this. I played a very strong team against a very weak team here, and I barely beat it in overtime. So there's that. Now, does that mean this is a bad game? No, but it does mean it's just another sports game. I'm gonna thumbs down this. I don't think it's worth seeking out to play. The graphics are okay. Like, it looks fine. It's a 16-bit era sprite. I like that they didn't try to do anything fancy. So a number of games, football and hockey, when possession of the ball or the puck changes, like the stadium will or the rink will rotate, or the field will rotate around. And that always bothers me. They try to do more 3D than they needed to. They were just messing with the screen too much. It kind of made you motion sick. I like this one's a little simpler. They don't try to do that. The sound is okay. I mean, the bits of music in it, like here at the menu and right at the do, like that sounds fine. The pucks and the hits sound good. I wish there was something else to listen to. There's a little crowd cheering when you score. That's fine. Gameplay-wise, is a little muddy. You get that slippery slide thing where it's like you're on ice because you're on ice. And the AI is really pretty solid, I felt like here. I think the game played okay. I think it'd be a lot more fun with a second human player. I will say that's one thing that Joey, my oldest son, and I found in the early days of doing this channel was most sports games were at best okay until you had a second human player, and then they were pretty entertaining. Like, we enjoyed playing golf, of all things, on here, because it's me and him just bantering back and forth and playing. So I'm gonna give this a thumbs down. I don't think this is the hockey game to look up. I don't remember what the one we recommended a long time ago, but it was really easy to get into a fist fight. And what was great is it had like different buttons to control, like high punch, low punch, block, and stuff like that. And that was one we both enjoyed. I will say I only go to the events that I know I will enjoy. I don't go to a game just to go. I'm in 3 hockey games. It's fun in person, not so much on TV. 16-bit era changed everything for me. I was always at arcades, had parallax scrolling, but NES did not. And dreamed of owning a Neo Geo. Jesus. Yeah, you're dating yourself there, boomer. I mean, your grammar school was 40 years ago, so you're probably about 5 or 6 years older than me, minimum. I turned 40 this year, and it is sad. I do remember going to the arcades and being like, Jesus, the arcades are amazing, and then you go home to your poor little Nintendo, and you're like, I mean, the Nintendo's okay, but it's not an arcade, that's a fact. And then the 16-bit era was very, very good to us. And then the 32-bit era just kept getting better, but also essentially started the death knell of the arcades. And yeah, I mean, are there arcades left? I don't know where any are. I know there's the Galloping Ghost in Chicago, Illinois, that has like 700 plus games. And then there's like the Pinball Hall of Fame out in Vegas. And I know that there's a lot of barcades now, but I mean, and I know the arcade industry's not dead. It's just not amazing at the moment. But I do miss the arcades. You're right. You are 47 MVSX. Good lord. So yeah, that's it for Pro Sport Hockey. I'm gonna thumbs down it. I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't think it's a super game. Now, I think with 2 players, it'd probably be a lot more fun. So take that for what you will. But it is a Saturday night, and I've got the kind of time I've got, and so we are going to swap over to play my Saturday night game, which is Advanced Wars on the Game Boy Advance. Ooh. I gotta change my title here. I've been slowly working my way through Advance Wars for what feels like 3 months now. I don't even remember where I'm at the moment. But Advance Wars is a great game. Arcades was an online multiplayer. Yeah, you're not wrong. Show called Silver Spoons. The kid had rows of arcade cabinets and never played them. That's sad. I mean, look, I've got a pinball machine and an arcade cabinet in the room next to me, and I don't play them nearly enough as I want to. Yeah, winds of the morning, hi-ho. mean, when I first finished, so my machines are older. I have a 1982 Gottlieb Mars God of War pinball machine that I bought broken and rebuilt. And then I have a Final Fight cabinet, which was originally like a Dig Dug. So it's a Final Fight in an Atari cabinet. But lecture off on YouTube, goes to arcades and private collections and does interviews with them. He's a cool show. Never heard of him, but maybe I'll give that a look. It was interesting. So I redid my Final Fight cabinet first, and I was like, man, that wasn't that awful. I bet I could do another. And I was like, the next logical thing is a pinball machine. And so I got a pinball machine, and I was not ready for that. A pinball machine was a lot harder to restore. I did eventually. There is one thing on it that doesn't work. It's a flashing light that's under the multi-ball ejector or the multi-ball lock, and like I've seen it flash maybe twice, and I've no idea whatsoever why it won't work. My guess is probably a cold solder joint under the thing, and I just can't be bothered. Like, once I had everything put back together, I couldn't be bothered to, like, disassemble shit again. I was like, this is just where it is. Rehab is no joke. Parts must have been a real pain to get. You know, actually, they weren't. So, I bought it from a guy in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he owned not an arcade, but like an entertainment business. And so he would lease and service machines at bars and things. And he put this one up for sale. And when I went to talk to him, I went to buy it. And he said that it was personally a machine he got for himself. And he was going to fix one day and just never got around to it and was finally clearing it out. And so he had a box of spare parts for this machine just sitting with it. And so I paid $500 for the machine and the box of parts. And I think I only had to buy... I mean, I bought all new light bulbs and rubber bands for it. And then I bought parts for the power board, some new resistors and transistors for the... Oh, God, I can't remember what it's called now. There's 4... It's a solid-state machine, not a electromagnet or mechanical. So there's 4 boards. There's the power board, the sound board, the audio board, and then I just can't remember what that 4th one's called. It's the one that basically operates all the bumpers and solenoids. And there were some transistors on it that needed to be replaced. And there was like one other expensive thing I had to buy. Oh, it was parts for the drop targets. But otherwise, not that bad, actually. Galloping Ghost sells parts. I mean, that doesn't shock me. Alright, here we go. Mission 50. I think there's only like 25 or 30 missions in this game. $12 properties. Alright, secure mission. Good lord. So he's down here. I'm gonna have to get that middle base for sure. And then the middle island, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Shit, I got a lot of shit to capture in this. I would like to get a cat. Double drag would be a kick down. Most nice for my went to audio gear and plug it. I mean, yeah. Look, I didn't start collecting video games again until 3 or 4 years ago, like right before COVID hit. And then during COVID's when I restored the pinball machine and the arcade machine. I mean, money is what you get, you know. I'm cheap as hell too, though, so I'm generally willing to wait, and I really, really fish a deal out of things when I can. Okay, they have all three. There you go. You get iArcade. Highly recommended. I actually have heard a number of people recommend iArcade. So oh, we got a battleship and a submarine. No cruisers though, so that's something. Just Google and save the results once the divorce is final. Can't wait for their multiplayer. It has to be real soon. Well, I would say sorry to hear about the divorce, Boomer, unless that's something you were seeking. I've had friends before, you know, someone says they're getting divorced, and you're like, well, I don't know the situation, so I'm not sure whether I should say sorry or congratulations. It's online. It's ranked. Right on. I'm okay with ranked. Well, I kind of dig. That's the only thing that made me kind of want to get the At Games virtual pinball table was the online thing where you can like compare your scores to everybody else's, because that sounds pretty cool to me. Battleship's gonna wreck my face. It did not work out. Life moves on. 25 years ago. 25 years is a damn good run. My wife and I have been together for 20 years, and in that time we have known multiple people who have gotten married, divorced, remarried. So, you know, I get anything. 25 years. That's a solid run, man. Yeah, ALP is fun. Let's see. This dude's gotta go. Because battleships are way too strong in this game. Aw, fiddle shits. Really? That dude made it out of my fucking range. Garbage. I'm gonna lose that thing in a second. That's gonna really upset me. good stream. Taking off, Cranky. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out for a little while. I appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy what you watched, and I hope your day and everything gets better for you from here on, man. Oh, you get a Series S or a Series X, Beach? I don't have one, and I probably never will. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Heck, I don't know if this is no value into the content. You know, I've got both. I prefer physical, but digital's okay for when you need it. Much prefer physical, but we'll take it. Digital's better than not having it all. So, I just recently finally got a working like original Xbox, which is awesome. I'm super happy to have that. That's gonna suck. LG Xbox is one of my favorite systems. It's got some of the best racing games on it. I have never been a huge shit. Didn't realize that was in range of that thing. Whatever. I was never a huge racing game guy. Like, I like racing games, but they were just never huge for me, you know? They were, I got the Xbox. I don't really know why I got an Xbox. I guess just because that's where I'm at in my collecting. You know? I have an Xbox and a 360, but again, not because I'm an Xbox fanatic, just, you know, happens to be what I ended up with. We've had a 360 since the kids were little. We bought the kids the 360 a long, long time ago. Oops, I meant to come up for air. Those dudes are all going to die. PS1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not a PS fan, but I'll go 5. Just not open it. Just sit on it. I have an NES, an SNES, a GameCube, an N64, a Wii, PlayStation 2, the Xbox. Did I say Sega Genesis? I don't remember if I said Sega Genesis. I've got 8 consoles in the other room at this point. And they're all 20 plus years old at this point. I mean, that's just the way we operate here. If it's not old, I don't want it, goddamn. I need tanks, please. I have all Nintendo systems, but none of the handheld standalone. The only Nintendo system I don't have is a Wii U. And one went for sale in my area the other day on Facebook for $50, and I missed it by 20, 30 minutes maybe. And I was super kind of pissed about it. Because I was like, damn it, that's the one Nintendo I don't have. Because I've got the Game Boy, I've got the Pocket, I've got a Color, I've got Advance, SP, 101, Virtual Boy, 2DS, 3DS, DS Lite. I don't have a regular DS. And I don't have the new 2DS or the new 3DS because I didn't see a reason for all that nonsense. So like Wii U is legit the only one I'm missing. And I was like, damn it. Really wish I would have gotten that. Probably lose the tank here. Nope. Swiggity. We'll wait a turn and see if we can manage to not die. And man, the Wii was a major flop. It was. So was the Virtual Boy though, and I have a Virtual Boy. Yeah, I mean, I know the Wii U didn't do well, but I see that thing as being like the necessary machine, because if it weren't for that, we don't get the Switch, which I have a Switch. I didn't name that earlier. So I guess I have 9 consoles technically, because the Switch really is kind of a console. Like, I know it's a handheld, but it's a console. And I love my Switch. But yeah, I never had a Wii U, never played on a Wii U, never touched a Wii U. The pawn shop down the road from me that I go to all the time has a Wii U tablet, but they don't have the actual console, which is weird. Shit, that was the wrong button. Way to go, Joe. Screw that one up, why don't you? Switch is a console. Yeah, Switch is a console. Some people argue that. I'm like, dude, like, if it ain't a console, I don't know what is. Because it meets all the same, you know, general criteria as a console. Just, it's not as strong as the modern ones at this point, you know, if you're talking in terms of, you know, Xboxes and PlayStations. God damn, I forgot the medium tanks are ridiculous. Screw you, medium tanks. But those things have no defense like at all. So. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna have to take over one more in the middle aisle. Splash. Tsunami! No. Do, 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 do. Capture, not attack. Okay. In the arcade is not an arcade. It's a console with arcade buttons. Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. When did that thing... Shit. I didn't realize his missiles got in range of my tank there. That sucks. That sucks. Although if I'm super lucky, I'll win this turn. As long as he doesn't, like, shoot my guys that are taking that middle city on the island. Sweet. Job well done. Beaten me. You've beaten me. That'd be me. That should be like a rank S. I did really well in that round. Hey, boo. Yeah, I have the PlayStation 2. And the only reason I've seen a couple PS1s for sale, but the only reason I haven't bothered to get one is because literally PlayStation 2 plays everything for the PlayStation 1. So there's not a lot of reason to get it. When is I coming out soon? The real reason I wanted the Xbox original, because I have, like I said, I have a 360, is there is a light gun, and I love light guns, that was for the Xbox original, the Pelican light rifle and shotgun. And I don't think you can make that work on any other console. I could be wrong. I'm not that read into it, but I really wanted another light gun, and I've got problems, so that's why I ended up with the original Xbox. And the original Xbox had some really good exclusives too, like Blood Wake's pretty cool. I have that one, played it. Crimson Skies is cool. Circus Maximus is interesting. Like, you know, chariot racing is kind of a cool. I'm surprised no one else has done chariot race because it's kind of wild. PS2 is great. My favorite race game on PS2. All the Tokyo Extreme Race games are on that system. Yeah, PlayStation 2 I have. You know what? That's really kind of what leads me to consoles. Because the PlayStation 2 I bought specifically for the Time Crisis games and the gun cons. And then, you know, I have the Sega Menacer and Nintendo Super Scope and the NES Zapper. And I'm real disappointed that there was never a light gun for the GameCube or the Nintendo 64. But it is what it is. But then I've got some gun cons. I got a gun con 1, a couple gun con 2s, a third-party gun con called the Light Blaster, which is compatible as a gun con or as generic. I've got Konami Justifiers for the Sega. I've got the Laser Scope for the NES, which is the headset gun. Now I've got the Pelican Light Rifle. Actually, it just came in the mail today, so I've got that. I don't even have the freaking game for it yet. So yeah. On the stream? Not anytime soon. So if you go to my YouTube channel and look in the playlists, actually, my son and I covered most of the Super Scope games a long time ago. And then my youngest son, Louie, and I played Lethal Enforcers. I don't know. Heck, that couldn't have been but maybe 2 months ago on stream. And we're awful at it. We never got past the first section, like the bank robbery. So there's like the bank robbery, there's inside the bank, then there's the alleyway, then there's the getaway. I don't think we ever got past the getaway because we couldn't get a high enough score. And it's, you know, you have to score a certain amount or you don't advance, so we never got past it. But Joey and I, there are 12 games compatible with the Super Scope, and Joey and I played, I think, 10 of them. So I mean, we covered most of them. I'll do more YouTube videos once Arcade drops the multiplayer. Yeah, that's the only reason I have YouTube anyway, is as a storage. Because Twitch deletes your videos after 14 days. I don't remember what the hell I'm doing at this point in this game. I'm getting real close to the end of it, though. Fog of War map. that should be easy. I just have to keep this dude alive for 10 days. My Xbox, so none of my videos saved it all. Just shows my channel is empty. Yeah. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong, making money off of streaming would be great, but I never envisioned managing that. So to me, streaming has always been just, something to do for fun. And it was a way to hang out with my kid before he got too old and moved away. Which he has at this point, for the most part. No, there's another battleship? Bogus. Bogus. Oh, those tanks are toast. Dead missile launchers, rocket launchers, whatever they're called. No, that wasn't enough to kill him. Come on. I know I was all messed up. I also forgot, discussing light guns, I have the Wii, which the Wii I didn't actually find out until a couple months ago. Actually had like a ton of light gun games for it ported to it. It's got like House of the Dead 2 and 3, House of the Dead Overkill, Gunslingers, Gunfighters, Mad Dog McCree series, which is 3 games, albeit awful and small. Heavy Fire Afghanistan, Martians Attack, not Ghost Recon, it's like Ghost Squad or something. Like it has like 17 or 18 games that are light gun games, and I was so excited to learn that because then I went and got a bunch of them. And it's got these big pistol grips that you stick the Wii motes in. And actually, I find it to be pretty accurate. A lot of people say it's garbage, but I've had a good time with it and have not had any issues. All my shit's dying. This is a fun game. Hope one okay. Carnival. Yeah, Carnival I remember. Again, real interested to see exactly how they're doing the light guns on those. Like, my bet is they're probably just going to do like the Wii and have IR sensors in it, because I can't see how else they're going to make it compatible with those little LCDs they put in those and still remain cheap, because the Sinden light guns are hella expensive. Nope, no sensors. I have the big buck cap. So how the hell does it work then? Like, how are they doing the... I don't know. I'm not that damn tech savvy, I guess. So I just don't quite understand how they're managing light guns without CRT TVs. But I will say, if they were going to get me to buy a cab, Time Crisis would be it. I don't know. See, I've been saving up money because the pawn shop near me has a super off-road sit-down driving arcade cabinet in it right now that they put out in January for $1,000, and I'm not gonna give them $1,000, but you know, come the end of April, it'll have been sitting in there for 4 months. And so I'm betting I can probably go and be like, look, you know, you want $1,000, be like, I'll give you $600 cash right now. And I bet they'll take it. And then I'll have a sit-down driving arcade that I'll have to find some way of getting into my basement. And that would be baller. I think that would just be amazing. Get it 700 cheap, then that's a good deal, right? And I've sat down on it and played it for about half an hour, so I know it actually functions as it should. Arcades have always been crazy expensive, honestly. But yeah, I figure if I can get it for $600, I'd have a real hard time passing on it, you know. $700 or $600, $700 is real cheap for a sit-down arcade game like that. That's real cheap, and I'd be quite thrilled to add it to the collection of shit I have. My wife would be less thrilled, without question. She'd be like, "Ugh, really?" But she loves me, much to what may be her chagrin, you know. Dead battleship. It's alright. I should be on... Yeah, I'm about to finish this level too. So. Lost everybody, but all I had to do was keep the one unit alive. That's enough for me. Blunk. Victory! Alright, Sam's Rush 24/7 with the Fast and the Furious cap. I would love to have. Shooting Cat would like to own his Jurassic Park, but my god, it's huge. My buddy Dave, who lives behind me, actually has a Jurassic Park cabinet. Not the sit-down one, it's a stand-up one, but it's still amazing. And he got it for like $350, I think. He had to drive like 2 hours to get it. But some guy had listed it on Facebook for $600. And he's like, I don't think he'll say yes. He goes, but just for shits and grins, I'll offer him $350. And the dude took it. That thing was a beast to get into his basement. Yeah, that was a massive deal. But it's a really cool game. I would really like a Crazy Taxi. A sit-down Crazy Taxi would be an amazing game. A full-size Time Crisis game would also be ridiculously fantastic. So, I am curious. What's the price point going to be on the Arcade 1-Up Time Crisis? Do you know? And then the other problem with Time Crisis is like I want it, but I actually have Time Crisis 1, 2, 3, Crisis Zone, and all that for the freaking PS2. Does it still say Pro Sport Hockey Pants Off? I changed the title of it when we finished that game earlier, but I wonder if it just, for whatever reason, didn't save the change in the name. Dashboard. Yeah, we finished Pro Sport Hockey like an hour ago. Nah, it says Advance Wars on here. Unless you're just following one of my like YouTube links and stuff. Or social media links. No, it says the game you were playing. Yeah, we did Pro Sport Hockey for 40 minutes. And when we finished it, I switched over to Advance Wars. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing on Saturday nights. You know, usually I play my game for an hour or so. And then tonight, I have extra time, so I was playing some Advance Wars. And me and Beej are talking arcade cabinets and arcade 1-Up cabinets and such. So. How was the hockey game? Should I try? No. Actually, the game was okay. It played fine. The graphics were okay. The sound was lacking because, like every other, not every other, but like 90% of sports games, it did not have music. It had like some interstitial music at face-off and in the menu, but after that, it's just the sound of the hockey puck getting hit around and the guys hitting each other. So, pretty bland on that. The gameplay was okay. Like it played functionally fine. There are better hockey games to play, so I don't know that it's really worth going out and playing. Certainly don't think it's worth seeking out to own. So it gets a thumbs down in the end. As a two-player game, actually, I think it would probably be a lot more entertaining if you had a second human player. But against the computer, it just wasn't that great. Yeah, thanks for the quick review. Look, man, that's all this channel is quick reviews. I play the game for an hour and then hammer away. Otherwise, I'll never get through the whole library. Where am I? Let me think. So... Pro Sport Hockey was my 334th game reviewed for the Super Nintendo. So, 330 games out of 700 and I think 20 games for the Super Nintendo down. I'm halfway there almost. You can get there eventually. But yeah, you know, give it an hour, play it, call it a day. Checking and seeing this. All right, Pants. Well, have a good one. I appreciate you hopping in. We'll see you later. And on your note, I think that's going to be it for me for the evening. Pro Sport Hockey was a thumbs down. Finished 2 missions in Advance Wars, so I think that's progress for the evening. We'll see you guys later. Beach, thanks for coming in. Cranky Boomer, I know you. I'm pretty sure you're gone, but thank you. Pants, thanks for popping in. Anybody who watches the VOD or the YouTube channel later, thank you for sticking with me. Or anyone who's watching now and just lurking and doesn't chat, that's fine. Cool. Thank you very much. Let's see. Today's Saturday, right? So tomorrow's Sunday. So I got a game tomorrow. It's the last set in this 5. And it will be Mickey's Ultimate Challenge will be tomorrow's game. So that's it. I hope you guys all have a good one. Enjoy. Peace out.